What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you new to the channel, my name is Vince Warburton and this is VW Fitness. And there it is, guys. If you wouldn't mind, hit that subscribe and bell for notifications, guys. We are in Review Miss. It is coming to an end here shortly. Very, very sad about that. But today we're very excited to get to our number 4 ingredient on kind of my top 5 ingredients I'm always looking for in a pre-workout or just overall kind of just looking for in a supplement. Before I get to today's video, let's talk about some free samples. All you got to do is go to the website, www.vwfitness.club, hit the shop button, hit free samples, boom, get those ordered, guys. It costs less than $5. So make sure you snag up some free samples. Also, make sure you guys grab your VW Fitness official blender bottle, guys. I will ship that out as soon as possible. If you guys do order a bottle, I will send you guys some samples. Just make sure you send me an email. Let me know the notes, what you guys would like in terms of which pre-workouts, whether it's just kind of a general high stim or low stim. Whatever you guys might want to take, let me know and we will send those right out. So I appreciate you guys doing that. Helps support the channel, helps grow the channel. So guys, I'm going to preface this whole conversation as I always do, or as I have been doing when it comes to these ingredient kind of talks, is that I am not a physician, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. I am in no way a healthcare professional. And before you take any supplement, make sure that you guys do check with your physician or doctor or nurse before you take any supplement to obviously prevent any issues, any safety issues. I think it's a conversation that we do not have enough of, and unfortunately I don't think enough people do enough research on their own to potentially figure out if this product would work for them. So always check with your doctor, guys. It's something I really want to stress because I just feel like so many products are out there and we don't do enough research. We don't talk with our doctors enough about what we're ingesting, what we're taking, and it can have side effects. So I'll just leave it at that. We are talking about creatine. And this is a fun video for me because I've actually been talking about this in pretty much every pre-workout video. I kind of make a comment, a little snooty comment like, I wish there was creatine in this and I wish there was creatine in that, and like, oh, they put 1 gram of creatine HCl, like, and I've been saying it. Okay, I've been saying it for months and months and months, and I've been thinking about it ever since I started taking supplements and I started learning about supplements, is that the majority of pre-workouts do not have creatine in there. And today we're going to talk more about what creatine is and how it works and kind of my personal take on why it's not in there. Let's get right into it. So what is creatine? So creatine is actually an organic acid that lives within the body. It's generated within the body, within skeletal muscle. So some great sources of creatine is going to be like in wild game, red meat, fish, kind of those meat sources. So what does creatine do, guys? Okay, so what it does is it helps generate more ATP. And I'm sure you guys have heard about ATP, but basically ATP is the energy source that we utilize when we work out. It is basically the energy responsible for those short bursts of energy when we're trying to push through a lift. That great mind-muscle connection. Everything that we do within the gym, there's a purpose, there's a reason, right? And so when we think about it on kind of this molecular scientific level, the body is doing a lot of work. It's stress. It's a lot of stress on the body, utilizing a lot of energy. We want to be able to create as much energy as possible without obviously taking a boatload of caffeine and just eating a ton of carbs and having that sort of energy around. We need the ATP energy as well to get those short bursts of energy when we're trying to push through, those heavy sets or those long durations of workouts. So similar to beta alanine, guys, like we talked about in the last video, this is going to help with the power output of your muscle tissue, going to help with, that muscle synthesis of creating more muscle, pushing more reps, more volume, and it basically is going to increase our anaerobic capacity of exercise. So overall, creatine sounds like this really great product, 100%. Right? How do we take it? How long do we take it? How much do we take it? So kind of the research does show that you should be taking at least 5 grams a day of creatine monohydrate. Now there's obviously different versions of creatine. For me personally, I take creatine monohydrate. I think it's probably the easiest and most simple way to take creatine. It's also the most price effective in my personal opinion. I have done creatine HCl for a good amount of time, and personally for me, I didn't really notice a huge difference other than the price tag. So for me, I am taking the Caged Muscle creatine monohydrate. It mixes very, very well. That's kind of one of the key things with their creatine. So yeah, research kind of shows to take at least 5 grams. Some research does show to take it 5 grams twice a day with some carbohydrates. It's kind of the best way to get it absorbed into the body. Now, there's also this thing called this loading phase, right? And people will basically just stock up on a ton of creatine to basically pump the skeletal muscle tissue with creatine. And basically, you know, obviously the benefits of that is potentially, you know, gonna push even harder, right? The evidence of that is inconclusive. So for me personally, I don't do a huge loading phase. I don't, you know, come off of creatine really. I pretty much just supplement it year round. It is one of the safest, most researched supplements in the world. You know, obviously we talked about beta-alanine being number 2. Creatine is number 1, guys. That is the most researched supplement to date. So the research is there, and there's a lot of research saying it does these things. So I highly believe in creatine, and if anything, it's the one thing that I would take besides protein powder. Those are probably the 2 things I would take if I could not take anything else. So again, with this product, you know, it's gonna be one of those things that takes 1 to 2 weeks to fully kind of get your body used to it, to start holding on to that creatine and, you know, helping with ATP production. So, you know, it's not necessarily a loading phase. It's more, I would say, stay consistent with taking 5 to 10 grams a day. It doesn't necessarily have to be pre-workout, intra-workout, you know, post-workout. It can be pretty much once in the morning, once at night kind of thing. Creatine is one of those things, in my personal opinion, that for me, I only take 5 grams a day. I think it's a really important supplement. I don't necessarily know why a lot of companies will not put it in there. There are some issues with some bloating, stomach irritability, that sort of thing for some users. And I'm guessing that is more than likely why they do not put it in there. You know, there's a lot of great benefits of creatine, but on the same side of things, I've heard of people bloating, you know, obviously retaining a little bit more water. And not everyone wants that, you know, especially if you're doing a show. You know, you really got to be careful with what sort of supplements you're taking and how the body reacts, you know, even with caffeine, that sort of stuff, like it can cause bloating. You know, an excess of any of these things can have negative side effects. So I understand why they don't, but I feel like a lot of pre-workouts should actually have this in their pre-workout. So for me personally, like I said, I supplement it on the side. I think it's still one of those very, very important supplements that you guys should be taking. If you guys are in a, not necessarily like a shred, but like a bulk, definitely during a bulk, I would say if you're doing a shred, maybe come off the creatine as you get closer to that kind of goal weight, if you're trying to like really shred down. But I think all in all, in terms of safety, guys, you know, creatine is completely safe to take. I don't think there's a reason why you would necessarily come off of it. It's not like caffeine where, you know, you build a tolerance to it. If anything, it's going to help you with your workouts, especially if you're not overdoing it and taking, you know, 30, 40 grams of creatine a day. In my personal opinion, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, always check with them. I don't really see the harm in taking 5 grams of creatine every single day. So anyway, guys, that's kind of my talk on creatine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know we are so close, guys. We got one more video to go before we release our top 5 pre-workouts of 2019, guys. I'm very excited for the next few videos as we come to a close in this Review-Miss 2019. I'm excited to bring you guys some really epic content in 2020, some very big, exciting news when it comes to that. And again, I really appreciate all your guys' support through these, you know, last, what has been 18 days, 19 days. It's been an absolute pleasure trying to bring you guys as much content as possible and shooting as many videos as I possibly can, editing, getting these things turned around. I've been having a really great time. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe and bell for notifications. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.